الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. So in this video we are going to be addressing a really important topic. This topic is about hijabs being either obligatory or being a choice. Now in this video I am going to present my argument as to why I believe that hijab is obligatory for women. So without further ado, let's begin. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Now, in Surah Al-Azab 33:59, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders the Prophet to tell his wives, his daughters, and the Muslim women to cover themselves. Now, some people would look at this verse and say, oh, but this doesn't mean that the hijab is obligatory. This is just something that the Prophet told his people to do. However, that is not the case, and allow me to present why. In an authentic hadith collected in Bukhari and Abu Dawood, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anhu says, May Allah have mercy on the first Muhajir women when Allah revealed the words and to draw their veils all over their bodies, they tore their aprons and covered their faces. Now, as we can see, when the Muhajir women heard about the verse where Allah told the Prophet to tell the women to cover their faces, they then ripped their aprons apart and covered their heads. So, if this was not obligatory, then why were they in such a rush to do something which Allah has told them to do? This alone shows that it was indeed obligatory and it was not a choice. Because if it was not obligatory, then they wouldn't have taken it so seriously now, had they? But they did. They were very serious about it. So this is why it is obligatory. But this is not the only reason why I believe that the hijab is obligatory. There are some other reasons too. Some of you might argue that my interpretation is wrong. Okay, then let's take a look at the main sheikh's interpretation. Let's see what the sheikhs say about it now, shall we? The famous Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu says, it is not permissible for a woman to uncover their faces where non-mahrams can see them. Here we also have Al-Suyuti radiallahu ta'ala anhu saying, this is the verse of hijab which applies to all women and shows that they are obliged to cover their heads and faces. So as we can see, not only do the Quran and Sunnah make it obligatory for women to cover their faces, but we also see the famous sheikhs of Islam such as Ibn Taymiyyah and Al-Suyuti telling the women to cover their faces and that it is obligatory. So if you argue that it's still not obligatory, then you should really do your research and accept the fact that it is obligatory. Why? Because it is in the Quran, because it is in the Sunnah, and because the main sheikhs of Islam say it. Like, what argument do you have to refute this? Well, what do you know? Here we have Al-Jassas Al-Hanafi radiallahu ta'ala anhu saying, this verse indicates that young women are commanded to cover their faces in front of strangers, aka non-mahram men. Now, obviously, this does not mean that hijab is obligatory for literally every single woman. If you are a woman and you have not reached the age of puberty, then hijab is not obligatory for you. However, if you have reached puberty, then it is 100% obligatory for you. Now, if you are a Muslim woman and you think that the hijab is bad and that it might be oppressive, then look at the main reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made hijab obligatory for women. The main reason why He made it obligatory is because you women don't get sexually harassed. We see this in America. Women don't wear the hijab, they don't wear the jilbab, they don't wear the niqab. This is why chances of getting raped in America and India are skyrocketing. However, we can see in Muslim countries that this is absolutely not the case. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands women to cover their faces, because Allah does not want His creation to get annoyed, to get teased, or to get sexually harassed. So look at the bigger picture. Think beyond yourselves. Think why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did what He did. Because everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does is for a greater and divine purpose. Now we have reached the end of this video. Hope you guys learned a lot from this video and hope you guys understood why hijab is obligatory. And inshallah, see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم